Hi, Phyllis here from, I should say, Not So Frugal Today. Um, and this is not a cooking video, but it is a video about going to the farmer's market. And it would be a failed trip to the farmer's market today. I got up early. I was very enthusiastic about everything. I had my list. Okay, I had my list. And I also had the email from the Williams Produce, which is where I get my most of my fruits and vegetables. Now, there are many others out there, but I usually get the best prices here. So I knew what was on the email, and so my plan was to get blueberries, apples. I wanted the Gala apples, red potatoes. I figured they'd be new potatoes, like probably from Florida, but they would be new red potatoes because it's like June, right? And I was going to get peaches because some of the peaches have started coming in Georgia and in South Carolina. And last winter I was not able to get any butternut squash because they were all real little. So I figured, well, they probably got some bigger ones in now. So I wanted butternut squash, and I wanted some of the sweet potatoes, the jumbo kind, and I wanted green peppers, and I wanted a bag of Vidalia onions. And by the way, the sun has gone in outside, so I don't know how the light is now. And I wanted celery because I'm going to be freezing some more because I use it up really fast in soup and everything. And I wanted bananas. Now, we get, a bushel of, really, what's equivalent to a bushel of bananas about every 6 weeks. And because we have them in smoothies very often because they're very high in potassium, which makes you feel good, does good to your heart, your circulation. It's just really good. And I also wanted strawberries. So, now I knew I could get the bananas. I always get the kind that are already yellow, not with specks in them, but just, the solid pretty yellow, because they freeze the best. So we've got a little place out at the farmer's market. It's called the Banana Hut. And I've been going there for 2 years, and I've always been able to get the bananas, no problem. So this morning, I decided to go without my husband because he's so slow, getting around. I wanted to get out of here and get it done and get back home. So I left out at, I don't know, probably 7:15, 7:30, and no problem. The car is just running like a dream. We had it worked on about a month ago, and it's running like a dream. We had a little leak that I fixed myself, and very proud of that. I looked it up on the internet and watched a video and watched this guy fix his, and so I fixed ours, and it worked because we've had a lot of rain and we have not had one drop of anything leaking into the passenger side in the front seat. Doesn't happen anymore. All right, so everything is going great. So I get to the farmer's market, and I go to Williams Produce, my place I always go, and same guy always waits on me. They sort of know me now. And so they have blueberries because sometimes it'll, be on the list and they get sold out before I get there. But, I just got it. Let's see, I guess I got the list Monday. This is Wednesday. And so I asked, and he said, oh, yeah, they still have blueberries. And, of course, I want to look at them, and they look great. So I got the blueberries. I wanted Gala apples. They've got some great Gala apples. We went back to the cooler. I picked those out. Great. And I wanted red potatoes. And he said, well, the red potatoes, this is all we've got over here. They come from South Carolina, which is where we live. And I looked at them, and they were like that big around. I mean, I'm not going to deal with potatoes that little. I don't care how cheap they are. So I said, well, I'm going to pass on that. So then I asked him about the peaches, and he said, well, the peaches have just started coming in now, and better to wait on that. So I thought, okay. So then I said, well, what about the butternut squash? And they were right in front of me. I was already looking at them, and he said, no, 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 no. This is not the time of year for butternut squash. You need to get those in the wintertime. I said, okay, we'll wait then. Although this past winter we didn't have any butternut squash, and I really like that butternut squash soup. We have it, at supper sometimes. So then we went on to the green peppers, the green bell peppers. And I knew they had them, and I said, well, what about the peppers? And he said, well, they're not faced, is what I understood him to say, faced. And I said, what does that mean? And he said, well, you know, faced in the box. I said, no, I don't know what that means. He said, okay, well, come on and we'll go look at them. So I went back there with him and we looked at them, and the box didn't have a lid on it. I guess that's what faced means. I don't know. And but anyway, I said, well, where are they from? He said, oh, they're from Johns Island, South Carolina. I said, oh, great. So they were $20. Well, the price of one green bell pepper in the store today in Bilo was 99 cents. And these were, the best I can figure from what I counted, less than 50 cents each, more like about 35 cents each. So great deal. I said, yeah, I want those. So then the next thing was the Vidalia onions. And I had seen from the email that you could get the Vidalia onions, number 25 bag, which is a 25-pound bag, for $13. And so we got that. And of course, they don't have celery, and I wanted celery. And they don't have bananas. So I knew I'd have to go to the Banana Hut to get those. And I asked if they had strawberries. He said no, and it wasn't on the list, so I really wasn't expecting that. So I ended up getting blueberries, the Gala apples, and the green bell peppers and the onions. And he loaded them in the car for me. Everything was fine. So I thought, well, I'm gonna go back to the Banana Hut and get my bananas, never dreaming they wouldn't have them. They were sold out of bananas at the Banana Hut. Can you believe that? I couldn't believe it. So I looked over there and I saw that, now they did have some green ones, but you know, they have to gas them and all that stuff. And that takes a while apparently. So I looked over there and I saw a box and I could tell they were yellow. And I said, well, what about that box? He said, oh, they're already sold. I said, oh, okay. So no bananas. I'm going to have to get the bananas, I'm knowing, now at the grocery store. So that was that. So then I decided I would go down to Severance and Son. That's another place I have bought stuff before. That's kind of my second choice, but they have usually plenty of stuff. So I go there and there's this little girl, I think she's from Honduras. She doesn't speak really good English, but she's a good salesperson. So she usually waits on me, and so I said, well, do you have some yellow bananas today? No, but no banana, no banana. I said, you don't have any? No banana, all green, all green. I said, okay, what about strawberries? No strawberry, out of season, not time for strawberries now. I thought you could get strawberries all summer. I guess not. So no strawberries, no bananas. So, okay, I'm really not even batting, 50%? I mean, I'm maybe batting 25% at this point. So I thought, okay, I'm going to the regular grocery store and, get the things that we need, enough to, get me by till I get back to the farmer's market. So I go get in my car. It won't even click. You turn the key on, it won't even click. Now, we had the car worked on a couple, probably more like a month ago, and it really runs like a dream now. But that that not starting is the reason that we had it in the shop to begin with. But they found something else, and so anyway, we ended up having to pay for all that. And so I thought, how can this be? It just can't be happening to me. Not this. So I just sat there a second, and I tried it again. No click, no nothing. I thought, all right, I've got jumper cables in my car. Maybe I can get some of these guys that got trucks around here to jump me off, and then I'll just go straight home. So I go up, and standing on the platform is the guy that owns the place, and he's talking to another guy, and I really wasn't sure who the owner was, so I tried to ask the Mexicans, and they just had all these talking in Spanish, whatever, and I couldn't understand what they were saying, and they were pointing to the car, and that didn't happen, okay? So I went up to the two guys that were not Mexicans, and I said, excuse me, I said, is there someone here that can maybe jump my car if I can't get it started? Now, I've got a Lincoln Town Car. It's about 8 or 10 years old. I don't know how old it is, but it's been a really good car. So the owner, it turned out the older guy was the owner guy, and he's kind of looking at me like, jump your car off? What's that? I mean, he really was kind of looking at me like that. So then the other guy, a little bit younger guy, said, oh, I've got my truck right here. I can help you with that. He said, which car is yours? So I pointed to it. And he said, oh, yeah, come on, I can jump it off for you. And I thought, okay, thank the Lord, I'm going to be able to go home now without calling AA, you know, and AAA, excuse me. And so he goes out there, and this is the reason for this video now. All right, I've got a failed trip to the farmer's market. I mean, I got maybe 25% of what I wanted. I've got no bananas, which was the main reason I went. And now the car won't start. So, but the car wasn't leaking. Of course, it hadn't rained today, but the car wasn't leaking, and that part was good. So anyway, we go out to the car, and he can't get the hood up. And so he's asking me where the lever is. And I said, well, it's right in front. You just have to, it doesn't take much to, because even I can get it up. So just put your fingers in there and pull it just a little bit, and it'll come right up. So he kept trying and trying, and I said, well, why don't you move your finger down to the middle of it? So he finally got it right, and he got it up. And the first thing he said after he got the hood up is, your battery connection is loose. Ah, there's the problem. My battery connection is loose. And here's the next thing he said to me. I want to pick this paper up. He said, I can't say this without laughing. It wasn't funny at the time, but it was really funny. Then he goes, do you have your tools in the car? And I said, what? He said, do you have your tools in the car? I said, what tools? He said, you don't have any tools in your car? I said, no, I don't have any tools. He was looking at my pocketbook when he was saying that. Now, does that look like it's got tools in it to you? I don't think so. So anyway, there was this like uncomfortable silence. And he was a very nice man, a real Southern gentleman, okay? So then I remembered. I said, oh, wait, I do have some tools. I do. And here's what they were. Father's Day, we went to our church that we used to go to several years ago, just to, you know, visit, because we don't go there anymore because it's a real long way. And they gave my husband this for Father's Day. And on the way home from church, I was looking at it, and I said, well, oh, I could probably use that. And because my husband didn't want to carry this around in his pocket because it's so heavy. But it's one of these things that's got a magnifying glass, it's got a saw. Let me see what else is. It's just, there must be it's got a wine opener. Y'all know these kind. I know y'all seen these before. Let me see what else we've got. Anyway, I thought, he said he was looking, like, got a fingernail file. Oh, yeah, that's useful, right? So, anyway, he needed a bolt tightener. I don't even know which, wrench. Yeah, he needed a wrench. So I said, well, I think there's a little wrench on this. But there really isn't, okay? I mean, if there is, I don't know about it. But anyway, so he looked at this little thing. He said, oh, I've got one of those. And he said, oh, no, wait a minute. I've got something in my truck. So he went back to his truck, which was just parked a few feet away. And he comes back with, let's see, a wrench, not a wrench, like pliers. I don't know what you call it. I'm not sure what you call it. Anyway, what he did was he just used that and he tightened that little bolt on top of the battery. And he said, okay, go try it and see if it'll start now. Well, it started right up. And so I get out of the car and, you know, we got to put the hood down. I was thanking him and everything. And when I did that, I heard this ungodly noise coming from what I thought was the motor, and I said, what in the world is that? And he was stunned too. So then I went back, I was going to cut the engine off because I thought something's really tearing up. Well, what it was when the last time when they worked on the car, something got messed up to do with the radio and the CD player, and my husband had said he was going to have to take that back and get them to fix that. Well, when the battery wasn't connected right, and then it got reconnected, it rebooted that somehow or other, and what we were hearing was some massive static coming from the radio, which was turned wide open. And of course we both laughed about that. But anyway, to make a long story short, the next time somebody asks me if I have some tools, this is what I'm going to have. Yeah. This goes in my pocketbook, and I might put a screwdriver, maybe a Phillips head, a straight edge, and I don't know what else. Of course, I've got jumper cables there, but that wasn't what was needed today, although that would have probably worked, but then we wouldn't have known the real reason. But anyway, from now on, when somebody says, do you have tools? I'm going to say, well, yes, I do. Here they are. And I'm going to have some others, too. Maybe even a little itty-bitty hammer. Wouldn't that be neat? So anyway, the man really, I think he forgot. He was talking to a woman when he said, you have tools, I don't know. Anyway, I guess he thought that looked like it had tools in it. It does have a lot in it, but I didn't have any tools. So anyway, just to make a long story short, this was really my failed trip to the farmer's market, and I've shown, I think I've done I don't know if I've done 2 videos or not. I know I've done another very successful trip to the farmer's market, but today was not one of those days. So, okay, and if you were expecting a cooking video, I'm sorry, I ain't cooking nothing today, okay? Nothing. We're eating sandwiches, all right? All right, so I thought you might enjoy hearing that little story. I mean, some days are just diamonds and some days are just rocks, and today was one of them for me. All right, see you next time.